I was reading the paper, as one does, because I still like the feel of paper, and I read an article about second chances here in South Australia.
Yeah.
And I found the article so interesting, I just had to get in contact with Helen Glanville, and she's here. Welcome, Helen.
Thank you very much for having me.
I never knew that this organisation even existed, and it never occurred to me what does happen to children whose parents are off having a holiday, so to speak.
Having a holiday, yeah, some holiday.
Unfortunately, they fall through the cracks. And there's actually research done about falling and dropping off the edge because nobody's counting. We don't have a federal prison system. And so the prison systems are associated with the state governments.
Yes.
So if you were to go to prison tomorrow and
I'm
you
not
were
going
admitted
to.
tomorrow, they wouldn't actually ask or record how many dependents have you left behind.
Only the cat.
Oh, for you, John, yes.
So this is where they are vulnerable. Some, of course, do have to go into state care. Sometimes grandparents step in and pick up the slack because they don't want their grandchildren in state care.
No.
But we have 1,100 children on our secure database, and it's estimated by the Commissioner for Children and Young People that in this state alone there could be 4,000, but nationwide
That's incredible.
there is 44,000 children of prisoners across the country.
Good heavens.
See, it's something you really don't...
No,
No, you don't pick up.
But your organisation, you said just before we started, 4 years? You've only been going for 4 years?
As an exclusive South Australian charity, but prior to that we were with a national movement for 20 years. But in the arena of working with children, we've been in this space for 11 years in September.
Right. So this is unique in this state, but the organisation is all over?
No. Second Chances SA is just that, an exclusive
that.
South Australian charity.
Right. I was amazed because it's obviously looked after with volunteers.
Yes.
And volunteers do the most amazing things. Restoring Hope to Broken Lives is this little brochure here, but all of the information about Second Chances is on your website, which is
secondchances.org.au.
It's right there.
Yes.
And if anybody's interested in finding out more or how you can donate, and what I found really interesting was the furniture side of things, the furniture warehouse and op shop, because I had no idea. I guess that's a way people can contribute if they don't have the cash.
Well, especially in South Australia, preferably the metropolitan area, we have a truck, and provided the furniture meets our needs for our clientele, we have 24 other agencies, so all the cares, Uniting Care, Centre Care, Baptist Care, Picker Care, they have clients and they often can provide housing, but they don't have the furniture. So we can turn a house into a home, and those furniture packages for their clients, whether they are clients who have been homeless or clients for domestic violence. So it's not just for former prisoners and their families, it's for the community as a whole. And we're in this space and have been quite successful for about 5 or 6 years. And but at Richmond Road, Richmond, that's where people can come. You can go shopping for your leather lounge at a very reasonable price, which could be a hand-me-down because people are downsizing.
Yes.
I know because I do remember going there when my mother-in-law went into a nursing home, and we had to obviously get rid of her furniture from her unit.
To share it, isn't it?
Well, what else? No, but what else can he do?
Well, it's better than putting it out on the side of the
street.
road for hard refuse.
Yes,
so
exactly.
give us a call, send us the photographs, we'll book in a time.
You
and
don't
we
want
can
rubbish,
collect.
of course.
No,
You
and we
want-
can collect and we can deliver.
Right.
So it's a great band of volunteers, volunteer drivers, volunteers doing retail, and people come there too and learn how to do a little bit of retail. And we've found that people who volunteer at both the Furniture Warehouse and our op shop in Sturt actually get experience enough to move forward towards employment. So we can give them a bit of a reference for having been
Work
committed
experience.
You got it.
So Helen, it is something I never thought about, but somebody who is incarcerated, the chances are they will have a family, I guess. Some of them may have grown up, but some of them may be very young. So what happens to babies?
Well, that's a very good question. Sometimes the partner is looking after them. Not always is the husband and wife or the partner, the pair
Together.
go both. Yeah, so it's often the woman, the mother is the one.
But do they can care for them in the prison for a while? They can actually have their children with them? No.
So that's a little bit of an issue at the moment. Pregnant women having babies is a bit of an issue at the moment compared to other states. But for the purposes of this program, we're interested in the children who are at home and who are missing their mum and dad. Because what happens for the child is they sometimes feel forced guilt. They sometimes feel, oh, daddy or mummy doesn't love me anymore. What goes on in the mind of a child is quite interesting.
Or grasping that their parent has done the wrong thing.
And or gone away. Sometimes the facts are kept from them. Sometimes they don't get to visit. But it's not their crime, therefore not their fault.
No, of course not.
But the moment it gets out into the playground, sometimes the other children aren't nice with their words. So, you know, your old man is in prison. And so that stigma can ride and rest with them and they feel the burden. So again, not their crime, not their fault. So we come along to them and to the caregiver to encourage them to stay the course. Because sometimes these kids go through so much emotional difficulty and hardship and they do miss their mum or dad, but they need to stay the course for their education. So where we can, we will support them with brand new school uniforms and shoes. We will do whatever it takes for them to stabilise and stay. So some community groups are giving us backpacks so that it takes some of the financial burden off the caregiver.
Right.
And we also provide birthday presents.
I was about to ask you about that. You're reading my mind.
Yes, because when mum or dad is in prison, they can apply on behalf of their child, would you please provide a birthday present? So they have the form. They're empowered to request a birthday present and we probably shift about 30 presents a month. And they're just to let the child know that they're accepted, they belong and they're valued.
And where do these presents come from for you then?
All
in
over
that
the
case,
shop. Donors. Sometimes we get an abundance of presents at Christmas time, which we honestly tell donors we will convert these into birthday presents throughout the year. So nothing's wasted.
Right.
So we also provide...
Do you do Christmas presents too, is that what you're saying?
And the Christmas just gone, we delivered presents to 632 children. Into 6 prisons. And the reason we take them into prison is we're interested in mum and dad coming together. So it's not mum and child in a community hall. It is the family coming together and mum and dad together enjoying the joy of the child opening their presents. And we're talking 2 brand new presents per child. We have donations, we have sponsors, and we're very keen on making sure that Christmas, they're not forgotten.
From what age group to what age group do you go to?
From birth all the way through to 16.
Okay.
That's for the presents.
Yeah.
That's an interesting point though. What happens after 16?
Well, we're embracing on a brand new project, which I'm busting and excited about, called Getting Ready for Takeoff. And it's for a test, trying and learn project, which we're embarking upon in March. The federal government has recognised this particular cohort to be vulnerable, to be welfare dependent.
Yes.
And so what we want to do with that is to break the cycle of welfare dependency, because under their roofs and a lot of homes, they don't see anyone getting up and going to work. So their work ethic isn't taught by demonstration. And so we want to show them that they can be whatever they choose to be. They can make good choices based on values that I think most Australians actually take for granted. So the value of respecting authority, that's a very important value. The value of being honest. See, I was so naive when I started this. I thought every mum and dad in Australia taught their child to be honest. That doesn't always happen in this particular cohort because 80% of crime is drug and alcohol related. And in that little subculture, there's a whole range of things that these children know and see that we're not even exposed to and we're not
every day
understanding.
of their lives.
Yeah, so it really is important that we come alongside them and tell them that they are special and precious and they can be whatever they choose to be.
Now, when you say they, though, who are they?
The children?
No, who are the people saying you can be whatever you want to be?
Oh, well, our volunteers on our PK mentoring camps, we run 9 camps a year and they start at primary age. We start at around about 8 to 12 for a primary age camp, both in autumn and spring, and then they move on and graduate from a primary camp into a junior teen camp, and that's when they go off for junior boys and junior girls and junior boys and junior, and then senior. And so they progress. And right now I can tell you that as we've worked in this space for over 10 years, we've got 6 wonderful youth who are actually leaders. And the young packers coming through, they look up and they say, she's made it. And you would have seen in that article in the Sunday Mail where Montana and Ryan received the Premier's Award last year. Well, Montana's the first person in her family to have completed Year 12 and gone on to university. And she made a decision to herself when she was 15 at one of our camps. And we said, we will be with you so you can achieve and you can. So this is where we're going in the next step. The project is called Getting Ready for Takeoff.
That's wonderful.
And we're going to be able to sponsor whatever it takes, whether it's a little bit more one-on-one numeracy and literacy, whether it's a TAFE course, whatever it takes to build up their confidence.
A continuation. Yeah.
Yes.
Helen, that's it. Just stay with us because we've got to take a short break and we'll be back with our doctor and Helen after that. Welcome back. We have Helen.
Thank goodness you're back.
Yes.
What the conversation was
We were
not
talking
good.
about gallstones. Helen, last bit of advice for people generally about the children of prisoners.
It's very important that we make the community aware because it's this particular cohort that are 6 to 7 times more likely to go to prison than any other group in the community. Because just like their dad, it's a generational thing. We need to see the cycle broken and we need to get in early, and that's what we do. And it's very important to keep them in school. So they are a vulnerable at-risk group. A lot of people aren't aware, and it's very important not to put them down because not their crime, not their fault.
Kerry, and apart from smaller size meals,
think about activity levels, do something that's free, get out to a local park, maybe get out to a local park run Saturday mornings. It's free activity, family involved. Take your dog, take your children, take your grandparents.
We'll see you next time. Keep yourself nice till then. Thank you very much, ladies.
Bye for now.